Right, you see that now, right? Thumbs up. Brilliant. All right, well, welcome to the webinar, Become a Virtual Assistant and Land Your First Client in a Week. Like I said, this is completely beginner friendly, so you do not need to worry if this is completely new to you. And likewise, if you are a virtual assistant or you've been trying to start a business for a while, this is also going to be applicable to you. You're going to have lots of takeaways. Now, I want to state that if you are joining this from the challenge, I am going to repeat a few things that we've done in the challenge, but it's always good to hear it again and in a different way with a different perspective. So you will still get a lot out of this, even if you've gone through trainings with me in the past. So let's dive in. Who the hell am I? I'm Hannah Dixon. That's my name. I've been 14 years a digital nomad. I've been in the VA space for 8 years, and I've trained 16,000 VAs up to date. I'm currently in Guanajuato, which is in Mexico, in the mountains. It's beautiful here. I'm not sure if you could see behind me, but I have a wonderful view here. And my business values are all about diversity and inclusion. As a LGBTQ person, this is really important to me, that I see a lot of inclusivity and diversity in the VA space. I'm all about ethical outsourcing. So the other side of my business I do training VAs, but I also help entrepreneurs hire ethically. So that means I stand for ethical wages, ethical pay, no matter where you're from in the world. Meaningful community, which we'll get into a little bit later, but I'm all about community. And I'm all about providing freedom for people. Freedom was a big theme in my life, and it's something that I want to help all of you find in your lives as well. It's really important to me. I'm going to drop in the comments right now what it is that brought you here today. What are you looking for in a VA career? For me, it's freedom. For you, it might be something very different. I think freedom does encompass a lot of the things that we all want, but I do want to hear from you. What is the thing that draws you to this career? Hi, Missy. Nice to see you here. Freedom of location and pay. Flexibility, happiness, remote work to travel. Freedom, flexibility, freedom, work from home. Freedom to travel. We got a lot of travelers in here. I love it. Location independence, location independence. Freedom from the French-speaking world. Interesting. Freedom to work and do something I love and enjoy. Flexibility, choosing my own structure. So freedom really does encompass what we're all looking for here. I love that. That's what I'm all about. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And that's what we're going to help you achieve. So how I got started as a VA. Like I said, I'm not going to take loads of time talking about me, but it is important to how I'll be teaching you the rest of this masterclass today. So I do want to just do a brief introduction to me and my background. So here is a picture of me from many, many years ago. I was about 18 here. I'm not looking the healthiest. I'm looking extremely skinny. I was in a very abusive relationship at this time. I had just left university because my partner at the time did not want me to go, was jealous of everyone. It was a pretty traumatic time, and I think it's pretty evident in my face. So what happened after this was my family decided to send me to New York, where my other half of my family lives, and I ended up working in Macy's. If any of you in the States, you'll know what Macy's is. I worked in Macy's for a good year, and that's my auntie there, and she helped me out of that relationship, which was awesome. And then when I got back to the UK, I decided to try and find a job, and I landed a job in a luxury fashion house, which is in England, if you don't know this, Macy's is like a big deal. Like it seems like it's a fancy thing, but we all know it's just a department store. But in England, they thought that was cool, and I kind of sold myself on the job. And that is something that you'll do as a VA as well. You will convince people of your ability to learn and get things done, even if you don't know what you're doing. So I got this job in this really fancy fashion house, and my career in fashion started. But I didn't like that, because I realized that everybody that I was working with was a lot older than me. They weren't very happy in their careers. They weren't very happy in themselves. None of them really had loving partnerships, and they weren't doing the things that were important to me, which for me was traveling. So I began traveling. I didn't have much money at the time. So I hitchhiked, and I used something called Workaway. I did work exchanges where that's where you work for food and board in exchange for, a few hours of work a day. So I did that all over the world, and I traveled for 7 years this way, 6-7 years that way. I'm not sure exactly, around that time. And I went to amazing places. I worked in farms, I worked in bars, I learned about organic farming. So what I'm trying to get at here is I did not have a background in tech or anything like that. Very, very far from it. And from my past of having kind of like people that were very negative in my life, I began to find community. I began to live in these communal ways with people, and and realized that there were really great people out there, and there was a lot of really cool opportunities out in the world. And this is something that I took with me for my entire career. So what happened was I found myself in Italy, and this is me working on a construction site, because I obviously know about construction as well, apparently. But I sold myself on that and was like, I could do it. I can learn on the job. And so I got this job in Italy on a construction site. And what happened was I got invited to a party by a friend of mine. And they said, from when I used to work in fashion, and they said, are you going to wear that? And literally this outfit I'm wearing is pretty much what I was wearing. I arrived in Milan to go to a fancy fashion party, and that's what I was wearing. I put the jeans the right way around. That's it. And they were like, what are you wearing? I was like, well, this, I guess. And then it kind of dawned on me, it would be nice to have some money. So I went back to the UK and decided to do the normal thing, get a job, do that whole thing. Lucky for me, that was kind of intercepted. I met someone who was working online at this time. And for me, that was like, ding, 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 ding. You can work from anywhere with that. This is awesome. Teach me everything you know. And so she did. She taught me everything she knew. And long story, very, very short, I'm going to wrap this up now. In no time, in about 8 months' time, I was earning $5,000 a month as my sort of standard amount as a virtual assistant, from not knowing what a virtual assistant was to building my own business. And then in the sort of 1 year to 1.5 years, I was between $5,000 and $10,000 very consistently, and led me to a 6-figure career as a virtual assistant. So this is me today. Well, actually, that's 2 years ago. I've put on a little bit of weight since then, but that's fine. But this is me about 2 years ago. And since then, I've trained 16,000 people. I've been featured in multiple publications. I've spoken around the world about this thing, and I've become one of the go-to places to learn this. I tell you this not to impress you, but to impress upon you that, you know, you can do amazing things without having experience. And this is what this is all about. I want you to know that you can have this, and you can have this kind of freedom, and you can have this kind of success without that experience. So let's dive into the meat and potatoes now. What's going to happen today? We're going to talk for a few things. Number one is going to be discovering the existing skills that you have that you can transfer to a virtual assistant career, because you'll have them. Number two, we're going to figure out who you're going to sell those services to, aka figuring out who your ideal clients are. Number three, we're going to craft your elevator pitch in order for you to have full clarity on your direction. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. We're going to talk about it today. And finally, I'm going to give you 3 simple, easy to implement actions that you can take immediately to land your first or next paying client. I say paying because that's important. We'll talk about that as well. So that's what we're going to be covering today. Who is excited? I want to hear if you're excited. Just put it excited in the comments. Awesome. Brilliant. All right, we're going to move right on. Let's dive in. We're going to start at the very, very basics. For those of you who are completely new here, and it's always good to hear it again if you're not. What is a virtual assistant? It is a remote worker, an independent remote worker who assists entrepreneurs and businesses, kind of like an office assistant, only remotely and often with the use of more future-forward tools. For example, instead of Excel, you might be using Airtable. If you don't know what that is, that doesn't matter. But that's essentially what it is. You're assisting people virtually. Who can be a virtual assistant? Anyone with access to a computer, internet access, and a desire to learn. It's very accessible. And I just realized I put the word access 3 times in that sentence, and that's a mouthful. But almost anyone can do this. And that's why I'm really passionate about it, because I'm really passionate about providing people freedom. And this is a way that people could do that, that has a really low barrier to entry and a really high sort of profitability and really cool trajectory that you can take with it. We're going to talk about the personality traits of a great VA. So here's where you could start to think like, is this for me? Is this not for me? You'll start to either identify with these points or you won't, and then you'll have a good understanding if this is the direction you want to take or not. So first of all is being someone who has a natural desire to be of service is obviously going to be like the number one thing. If you don't want to help people, you're not going to be having fun being behind the scenes in someone's business, helping them. So if you are someone who has a natural desire to be of service, you enjoy helping people, you enjoy seeing people succeed, that's a really, really good sign. Secondly, you want to be someone who can quickly learn new tools and technologies, because there's always going to be a learning curve with this career at every sort of corner that you turn, because technology is moving fast. We have to keep up with it. There are going to be new tools for the same types of things that change every year. What's hot, what's happening. your clients are going to want to make sure that you are on top of that. And so you will want to be someone who can learn things quickly. Not only that, but oftentimes people will hire you because they like you, not necessarily because of what you can or can't do, and you'll learn on the job. So that's another thing to point out as well. Third is you want to be self-motivated and disciplined. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront with you here. This one's hard. I struggle with this still to this day, but there are ways that you can sort of learn how to be more self-motivated and disciplined. We'll talk about that a bit today. I know it doesn't come natural to everybody. And in fact, I don't think it comes natural to many people at all. But ultimately what I'm saying is you don't have a boss breathing down your neck. You are that boss breathing down your own neck. If that was possible, that would be really creepy. But yeah, that is basically one of the most important things as well as you go is you do need to have that discipline. You need to stick to your deadlines. No one's really pushing you on that. You want to be a natural problem solver and a really, really good communicator. The reason you want to be a really good at the problem solving is obvious. That's your job is to problem solve people. People hire you to solve problems for them. So that one's kind of standard. But being a good communicator, this is because there are so many parts of being a VA that require good communication, from marketing yourself to talking to clients, converting them to paying clients, all the way to actually working with the clients. And oftentimes what will happen is they're hiring you because they either don't want to do something, they don't have time to do something, or they don't know how to do something. In the case that they don't know how to do something, they still might want to know what you're doing though. And you need to be able to talk to them in sort of layman's terms about how you've structured things in their business, so that in the event that you're not around, they know what you've done. So being a good communicator is really, really important. Staying in touch with your clients, working remotely, you do need to make sure that you're staying in touch with them regularly. You're checking in, you're, checking in the way that they're comfortable with. Obviously that will be different with every client, but being a good communicator, I cannot stress that enough. That's like one of the most important things. And then finally, a little entrepreneurial pizzazz goes a long way. It's really important that you do have a desire to run your own business ultimately. And I think that's one of the biggest distinguishing things here, that some people think, well, you're working for people, but ultimately you're working for yourself. You're running a business, you have clients, you're not an employee. And therefore you do need to have a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. You need to have a desire to want to grow your own business and all the things that come with that. All right, who is identifying with these points? Just put a yes in the comments if you're like, yep, that's me. That's me. I don't know where the comments went. I've lost the comments. There we are. There we are. This is why I'm here, says Lacey. That is why you're here, and I'm happy that you are. All right, awesome. We got a lot of virtual assistants in the house. Love it. All righty. So let's just get straight to the point, because I know that everyone wants to know how much money can you earn. There's, if I was making between $5,000 and $10,000 a month, I would say the average, just after training so many people, the average VA is making between $3,000 to $7,000 a month. I would say that's pretty much the standard after a year of doing this across the board. But let's talk about, getting started, what the hourly rates might look like. And again, I'm all about that ethical outsourcing. We could talk about that more at the end if you want. So I'm not going to be telling you to go out there and, charge $5 an hour and get yourself an Upwork. That's not what we're doing with this. We're building businesses. So if you're starting out, general admin skills like calendar management, social media, Canva design, that kind of thing would be $20 to $30 an hour. That would be very appropriate. I'm just going to check that everyone's muted. I'm getting a little bit of feedback here. No, actually, I think that's the neighbors doing gardening. Never mind. So just starting out, even if the only thing you knew how to do was use Microsoft Word or something like that, that is more than appropriate to be charging that in today's day and age. Then moving in with the intermediate skills, you're looking more at advanced areas like WordPress, maybe WordPress maintenance, blog writing, graphic design, that kind of thing. You're looking in the $30 to $50 range. And then you might want to move into expert status, where you're looking at more sort of specialized things like advanced web development, SEO, funnel building, Facebook ads, that kind of thing. Can start from anywhere from $50. And I actually know VAs who have started at around $50 doing this and end up at like $350 now doing consulting for Facebook ads or social media strategy. So the trajectory is that you can really end up going really premium in your area of expertise as you learn and learn more. So that's one of the cool things about this. And yeah, I love that also it's kind of uncapped income potential in that sense. I think that as you go, you might start with hourly, then you'll start moving into retainers, and then you might want to start adding on, consulting, or you might want to start taking on a team of your own. So there's a lot of different ways you can take things. Who hires VAs? Almost anyone. If they don't know about VAs, they should know about VAs. This is the future of work, and I'm very excited about it. So I always say that almost any industry or niche can make use of VAs, whether they're aware of their existence or not. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more later as well. If you hear dogs barking in the background, I apologize. We are taking care of 5 dogs right now, and they could be loud. So what do VAs even do? It's all in the name. If you're a virtual assistant, your job is to virtually assist people. This leaves the scope of what's possible really, really wide. And actually, that's one of the things I love about this, because you can take it in the direction that you choose. You get to really decide and design your career. And I love that. So generally speaking, VAs will fall under 3 different categories. We got general administration, technical type tasks, or creative tasks. So I'd say that most things do kind of come under the umbrella categories. Am I going to close that door? Can you hear the dog barking, or is it just me? It's annoying. If it's just me, then I can deal with it. All right. So just to elaborate on those points, here's just a few things. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of things you could be doing as a VA. But, general administration, you've got design type stuff that could be, creating PDFs, creating Canva designs for social media. That could be newsletter template designs. That could be web design. You've got writing type tasks, again, like writing blogs, writing social media posts, writing newsletters, writing any kind of written copy. Video and audio, so you could do video editing, you could do podcast management, all kinds of stuff like that. Then you've got project management. That's another thing. That's kind of like on the higher end thing. You might be moving into OBM territory there, but project management is definitely a thing as well. Social media marketing, social media management, social media ads, anything in that sort of realm. Paula says, is an internship the same as a VA job? Absolutely not. No. VA clients is not an internship. You'll be paid for that, and it's a very different thing. And then web development coding, that would be definitely on the higher end of the premium skills. So if you do have those kind of skills, you can really be coming in at those higher rates right away, which is awesome. So the juicy stuff. Who the hell are you? We spoke about who I am. We spoke about what VAs are, but let's talk about your role within this. So I have some questions for you to ask yourself. You might want to get your pen and paper ready for this. You can also do this later, like no worries. I'm gonna give you the recording for this as well, so you can go through this in your own time. But it is good to just start thinking about it now. So I like to use this little Venn diagram. You might have seen this in other places before. It's a really common starting place for people starting any type of business. And this is my little spin on it. So you can do this in a Venn diagram. You could do this just in columns. You could just journal on this, whatever way you want to do it. But those categories are, what are you good at? And when you elaborate on what you're good at, I don't want you to just look at what you're good at in a professional sense, because again, I want to come back to the fact that you get to design this career and you get to make it your own and you get to enjoy it. I'm going to say this right now. There's no point embarking on this career if you're going to work with people and on projects that you do not care about. There is no point. You might as well stay in a 9 to 5. So when you're writing down what you're good at, I want you to also write down the things you enjoy that you're good at. So like, I'm really good at doing handstands. I'm really good at baking. I'm really good at customer service, everything under that umbrella of what you're good at. Then the second part, well, there's not really an order, but if there were, this would be the second part. What brings me joy? So out of those things you're good at, what brings you joy? Do you enjoy doing customer service? Yes or no? You get to drop the things you don't enjoy. You get to bring forward the ones that you do. I'm really good at, for example, managing a team, or I'm really good at diffusing difficult situations, or I'm really good at sales, or I'm really good at, creative design. And I'm really good at yoga, or whatever it is that you've got going on there that you really enjoy as well. And then keeping in mind what we've said before about the fact that almost anyone could use VAs if only they were aware of them. The dogs are being very loud. I think they're fighting. I'm going to do this so I can focus. What can I get paid for? I want you to start thinking about different types of businesses that you would be interested in working with specifically. Different type of businesses, all the types of things that might go into their online presence, and then marrying it with the things that you're good at and the things that bring you joy. And there you're going to find your sweet spot. So I'll give you an example just to make this clearer. let's say that you are really good at customer service. What brings you joy is doing your yoga in the afternoons. What could you get paid for? You could help yoga studios with their online customer support, for example. So you want to start identifying all these different sort of sweet spots and then lean into what feels best. Because again, you get to design it, you get to choose. And that is the beauty of this career, is that you really get to do something you like and enjoy. There's no point otherwise. So is everyone on board? Hashtag on board if you're on board so far. I see lots of jokes about the dogs wanting to join the masterclass. Let me be a VA. You said anyone could be a VA. All right. Lots of on boards, on boards, on boards, on boards. Love it. Great. Oh, I went back a little bit there. All right. So now you can start journaling on this now, or you can just screenshot this, or you can write it down and do this later. But don't take too long on this. I'd say take an hour on this and really just let your mind go where it wants to go, because again, like I said, you want it to be authentic and you want to build a business that serves you. So let's talk about that. Why is that sweet spot important? Number one, of course, enjoying what you do, loving the clients you work with, loving the work that you do. That's really important if you're moving into this. But I'd say even more important, I don't know, even equally important, is that it helps you stand out. It gives you a competitive advantage. I'll give you an example. If someone came to me and said, Hannah, I really want to work with your team. I'm a VA and I can do everything for you. And I'm $20 an hour. And then someone else came to me and said, Hannah, I would love to help you put together a webinar presentation because I know how stressed you get doing that. And that's what I excel in. And I help course creators and digital nomads. And I'm $30 an hour. I'm going to hire the $30 an hour person because they excel in the thing that I want them to do and the thing that I'm struggling with. And they serve me personally. They know my lifestyle. They know what kind of business I run. They know the kind of problems I have. They speak my language. I don't have to sort of, train them on anything extra there. So when you lean into what you are interested in, then you're going to be able to have a much easier time talking with clients and convincing them of your value, and you'll get to stand out. And finally, when you stand out like that and you're offering a specific service to a specific audience, you can charge premium for that. You can charge more for that. You are one in a million then. You're not just a sea of everybody doing everything. So standing out is really important. And I want to stress something at this point. If you're thinking niching's really hard, I don't want to just choose one thing, I don't know who to serve, then I think one of the things I always like to say is that you don't necessarily have to serve a very, very like tiny niche in a very specific thing right away. What you can do is niche by your values. I want to work with leaders who value diversity and inclusion, for example. That would be good. Or I want to work with people who care about climate change. You can start with stuff like this so that you're at least working with people who are on the same page of you in terms of values. So, and I think that's important to weave in anyway. But if you're really struggling with that, that's a way that you can get started. Is that making sense? Okay. Awesome. All right. So that's why that's important. Now we're going to move into your elevator pitch. So your elevator pitch, you've probably seen this before. If you haven't seen this before, it's just like a declaration that says who you are, who you serve, what you do for them, and why that's important to you, why you do that. Now, I can't stress enough how important the why aspect of this is. And I want to reiterate once again, you get to design this. It gets to be on your terms. You get to work with who you want, how you want, from where you want, and all that good stuff. And so your why is going to be a sort of culmination of what's important to you about your career, about what you're doing in your life, about what your goals are, what your values are. So you can take a screenshot of this. You could do this now if you want. You can throw something together and you can tweak it later if you want, or you could just do it later. It's up to you. But ultimately, this may be like, I'm Hannah, and I provide online support for life coaches, helping them with their technical, I can't think of it right now. I help them with their tech and automation. And this serves my greater purpose because I'm instrumental in them doing good out there in the world and changing people's lives. If that was if that was my declaration, that would be my declaration. So you can kind of play with this a little bit, but this is really important to have, one, for you to refer back to as you start your business, so you can kind of, keep yourself streamlined to it. But also it's good, you can put that on your social media profiles. You could put a variation of this onto your LinkedIn, your Instagram bio, all that kind of stuff in your own words. But based on this template, this is a really good way to start telling people what you do with confidence and clarity. And you want this to be short and concise and precise. You want to be able to say this to someone. If someone said to you at a networking event, what do? You want to be able to say something like this, and it needs to roll off the tongue. So you want to put it in your own words so you feel comfortable with it. But this sort of structure is really, really helpful, I find. Now, I think on the next slide, I talk about this before I dive in. Yes, I do. Imperfect action. Imperfect action is all about what it is, not worrying about it being perfect. And I know that's really, really, really hard, especially for people who are the types who want to be VAs. We often want to make sure everything's fixed and good and done and properly. But when it comes to building a business, you need to recognize that without taking these initial steps, nothing will actually happen. We can procrastinate when we're getting into perfectionism mode. So with this declaration, and with the niching aspect of this, you can start with something and know that it's going to change. Like absolutely 100%, it will change. It's normal. So knowing that and going forward with what you have will allow you to get your foot in the door and change as you grow and as you learn more and as you realize what you do and don't like. That's literally the nature of this work and career. You get to design it as you go. Dion says, I suffer from analysis paralysis. Yes, it's a real thing. It's a very real thing. So I'm going to push you today to just consider what it might be like to just start with something. Just start with something. I'll be taking some questions at the end, so I won't be answering now, but I will take some questions at the end. Thank you for your questions. So yeah, we evolve as people. We change what we want and what we're interested in, and this career affords you that. So getting started with something is better than not doing anything at all. I've seen people want to start a career in virtual assistants and 3 years later come back and go, man, I wish I'd just started when I did this exercise with you 3 years ago. So I really encourage you to take action on everything that you learn here today. All right. Is that really the next slide? I'm a bit confused now. Yes, I guess it is. So stop applying for jobs and start creating opportunities. This is like my favorite phrase that I made up and I'm very, very proud of because I think it's awesome. And this is all about you stepping out of that mindset of employee and moving into that mindset of business owner. And I think there's like an in-between stage where a lot of VAs are falling into this gap of they're still in the employee mindset. And so they're applying for jobs on gig sites constantly. They're just applying and waiting and hoping and, that they're going to get picked. Instead of moving into this entrepreneurial sense of creating opportunities for yourself. We're going to talk about what that means a little bit more throughout the rest of this presentation, but I want this to stick with you. Stop applying for jobs, start creating opportunities. We're going to talk about the 3 ways to land clients now. So this is where we're really going to start taking action. And the golden rule for all of these is to act like a business owner. I'm going to talk in a minute about what that looks like. But I want you to keep that in mind. I also want you to keep in mind your why you started. So you would have done that when you go through your declaration, your why. Why are you doing this? You want freedom. All those things you said to me at the beginning, freedom, location, independence, being at home with the family, whatever is important to you. Why are you doing this? Keep that in mind as well when you do this. The 3 layers we're going to look at are existing network. I'll explain that. We're going to look at signposts. I'll also explain that. And researching and refining. So these are three things that you can take away today and you can put into action immediately. And these 3 things have gotten people clients almost every time. Maybe not the first time, maybe the second time, but almost every time. And if you do these things on a regular basis, you will land clients. Who wants clients? We all want clients, right? So how to act like a business owner. I'm just going to run through a few things here. Reaching out to your existing network, we're going to talk about that. So using a network, being a networker, essentially, being in business, you have to talk with other business owners. You can't hide behind your computer and hope that things are going to happen. You have to get yourself out there. Engaging, supporting in Facebook, LinkedIn groups. If you're going to work online, you need to be online. I think that's another bit. People are like, well, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm on a webinar with how many people here right now? I'm an introvert. There's not really an excuse. You have to kind of start managing the anxieties you have, and we'll talk about that later as well, so that you can show up, and finding ways to show up that feel good to you. And by being yourself and working with people you care about, that really greatly alleviates a lot of those anxieties. Kim is saying, yes, Hannah is the biggest introvert. I can say that as her wife. Yes, I am. I will crawl into bed for 2 days after this, but I love it right now. Publishing relevant niche specific content, so attraction marketing, being proactive essentially, instead of waiting for stuff to come for you, or waiting for the referral, or waiting for the people to get back to you for the job you applied for. You're being proactive and bringing people to you. Befriending other virtual assistants, growing your network in that way is really, really impactful to do as a VA business owner, because there are going to be times where you don't know everything. And if you're sticking in your lane and they're sticking in their lane, you can refer each other work. You can be a shoulder to cry on. You can be there when you're sick and your client needs support and you have someone who can cover you. So building a network of the other virtual assistants is really, really impactful. And then the final one is offering unsolicited but highly warranted advice. As a VA, you will start noticing when people are doing things in all kinds of weird ways, and you're going to want to help them. And there are really kind ways to tell people that they need help. And that's a way of getting in the door and getting yourself out there as well as an expert. So those are just a few ways of acting as a business owner. I want you to keep this in mind when we go forward, these 3 things. So we're going to talk about your existing network. So I want to just debunk a myth here. Everybody, well, not everybody, a large swath of people often come to me and say, I don't have a network. And I'm like, do you have a family? Do you have friends? You ever had a job? You have a network. You absolutely have a network. It might not be the exact niche that you want to work in, but you have a network and there's value in that. Now, you're going to have a more bountiful network if you decide to work in a niche you care about. Let's go back to that yoga example. Let's say you work in, you love yoga and you want to work with the yoga community. You're going to know yoga teachers. You're going to know yoga studios. You're going to be following influencers already online, probably. So if you choose something you enjoy and that you already incorporate in your life, then you're going to have these people in your network. But even if you didn't, I don't want you to discount your network. And in fact, I don't want you to discount anything. I think a lot of people come into the online space, and whatever trajectory that they're following, they seem to think that everything they did before the online world is discounted. That is not the case whatsoever. Everything is relevant. Everything you have done, you can pull experience from and bring it into this career. It doesn't get lost. It's still very much valuable. So when it comes to your existing network, it's a really, really simple thing that you can do. You're going to be like, I can't believe it's that simple, but it is that simple. And the reason I'm telling you is because it's simple. So you can go and put it into action right now and get results. You're going to reach out to your existing network. That might look like sharing a version of your declaration on social media and telling people you are open for business. It might be literally reaching out to that yoga studio owner and saying, hey, I'm moving into a virtual assistant career. This means I'm helping people with X, Y, Z. Would you be willing to have a conversation with me about what your needs might be? Even if you never considered doing this, I just want to have a conversation. Taking someone for coffee. I would love to pick your brain about this. Let me take you for dinner. Let me take you for coffee. See what their needs are. See if they would even consider this. The best scenario is they hire you. The worst scenario is they give you advice. And the sort of medium scenario is that they refer you to somebody. You need to make yourself known, and your existing network is going to be the people who are the most likely to support you when you start your new business. If you let them, you have to tell people what you're doing. You have to ask people for advice. You have to ask people for feedback. You need to push yourself outside your comfort zone and say, I might not know it all right now, but this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Would this be of value to you? So I'm going to encourage you in the next 7 days to reach out to at least one person in your network. Offer to buy them a coffee, something like that, or jump on a Zoom, 10 minutes. I would love to pick your brain about something. You're not going to pitch them. You want to talk to them about your business. Your existing network want to support you. If they don't, you need to get new friends and family. All right. So existing network, one person in the next 7 days. Does that sound doable? Put a 1 in the comments if that's doable. Awesome, awesome. All the ones. Someone said done, 1 and done. Love it. Doing it now. Love to see it. Awesome. That's what I like. Action taking. There's a reason you showed up here today. If you don't put any of this into action, it's a complete waste of time, isn't it? Alrighty. Number 2, signpost. This is like my favorite. This is the easiest thing you can do. I still do this in my business regularly, and it's so overlooked and underused and so powerful. Signpost. You know, like in the movies and like in America, there's like a motel and it says like vacancy. I guess that actually is a real thing too, but it's like that's like my cliche of American life. It's like the motel with the sign. But they have a sign saying they have vacancy. The store you walk past says open for business, or we're hiring. There is a sign. You can do this digitally. You can literally go onto your Facebook profile right now, because your existing network are going to see this, or your LinkedIn, and you can say, I am available for taking clients for XYZ, your service, next month. Or I have, if you're already doing virtual assistant work, you want to take on a new client, you could say, I have availability for a new client starting on X date. This is what I can support you in. Reach out. This is the most simple method. And I don't see enough people doing this, because when I see people doing this, go, oh, I've been looking for that. You don't know who you're going to reach. I've been looking for that exact thing. And there's my sign. Literally, there's my signpost. So you can literally go, yeah, Vibka did one of these lately. Exactly. These things work. Another example of that, you know, just in a different format, was recently I wanted to get on more podcasts. I put on my Facebook profile, I'm available to be on people's podcasts. Here's what I can talk about. I had 10 podcasts booked by the end of the day. This is a really powerful, really simple technique where you can quickly get people in the door. But you need to tell people that you're open for business. Again, you need to tell people that you're in business. You need to talk about your business. You need to get comfortable and confident doing that. Who's going to do this one? I want to know who's going to do this one. Because this is something you could do right away. Already done. Love it, Hannah. What a great name you have. I know I keep saying that. It's such a great name. Awesome. Doing it. Tina says, such a simple idea, and I never thought about it. Hannah, you rock. No, you rock, Tina. Have to figure out where. Quinny, Facebook page, Facebook profile, LinkedIn, Instagram stories. Any of those, all of those. I see the comments slowing down on this one when it comes to the action. I want to see people say, yes, I'm going to do this. Super hard for introverts, but I'm up for the challenge. Good, Paula. Good. You got to push through. You need to get so outside that comfort zone if you want different results. And that's something that, you know, a lot of people don't talk about, but you consistently have to push your comfort zone when you're building a business. You know, like I said, this is the first time I'm running a webinar. I'm outside of my comfort zone right now, but I know that being outside my comfort zone is only going to serve me well, in the same way that it will if you start posting about your business. People start knowing what you're doing. People start referring you. Thanks, Kate. All right. So number 2 is signposts. And the final one, and this is the final thing we're gonna be touching on today in terms of finding clients, is research and refine. So this is less of an action that you're taking to get clients. This is more of an action that you take to figure out why you're not getting clients if you're trying things and things are not working. A lot of people give up before the going gets good. A lot of people. And that isn't just for the VA career. This is for anything in life. Like, you can literally apply this to anything. People give up at the first hurdle. Now, here's a real bittersweet truth bomb for you. When you're first starting a business, and you think everyone's watching you and everyone's going to judge you and everyone's going to say mean things and you're going to mess up, the cool thing is no one's watching at the beginning, because you aren't anywhere yet. So no one's really watching. Maybe your close friends, your close family, the people that want to support you, you have space to mess it up. Knowing that, then you can come back to it, and you can use this method that I'm going to talk about now to change things is really powerful. So I like to throw this one in the mix because I think that when people give up, they don't realize they have a resource they can come back to change things, to make things better next time. So research and refine, that literally means going back to the drawing board and saying, this didn't work. Let me find out what can work. And what this can look like is perhaps going to clients that you've maybe pitched on an interview and saying, I'd really like to get feedback with you about why we didn't move forward. And being okay with that feedback, knowing that you won't always be right, knowing that you always have room for improvement. Perfect is not an option, but improvement always is. Refining those processes, where you're showing up. Are your audience actually hanging out on Instagram, or are they hanging out on LinkedIn? Asking people questions. You know, are you hanging out here? Are you not hanging out here? Where do you hang out? What would you like to see if you were to hire a virtual assistant? Because I think what happens for a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of VAs and anyone who works for themselves is we tend to come up with an idea of a service we want to offer. We put it out into the world. No one bites it, and we go, everyone hates me and this sucks. Nah. When the truth is, we haven't asked anyone if they want that. Do you actually want that? Or is that just my idea of what you want? I mean, this goes for anything, not just business, but you know, we can't assume we know what people want and need. And so if we're not getting it right, we have to go back to the drawing board. We have to ask people, we have to research, we have to refine. You can literally, you know, put out a survey into some communities you're in and say, if you were to hire a VA, you know, in communities maybe where your sort of ideal clients are hanging out, if you were to hire a VA, what are the top things that you would want help with? Start a poll in a group. Start a poll on your profile. What would you most want help with? X, Y, or Z? Get data, research, and refine. I can't stress this one enough. Eva says, I've not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Edison, love that. Exactly. I'm going to read through some of the comments here quickly. Reflection never fails. Yes. So if you are someone who is already in business as a VA or a freelancer or in business in any capacity and it's not working, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means how you've been doing it doesn't work. Because it works. There's a lot of people out there being VAs and there's a lot of jobs out there for VAs. So it works. What might not be working is the process that you're using. What might not be working is where you're showing up. What might not be working is the service and the person you're trying to offer it to being a fit. So you need to go back to the drawing board. So just to reiterate those 3 points, we've got existing network, reaching out to someone this week in the next 7 days. You know what, maybe you want to get that declaration down first. Do that. So you feel confident about what you're doing, who you're serving, why you're doing it. That's really important. Reaching out to someone. Would you be interested in this? Would you give me feedback on this? Let me take you for a coffee. Telling people about what you do. Number 2 is signposts. Literally letting people know you're open for business. Otherwise, if you don't, no one will. It's not a build it and they'll come deal. You have to tell people. You have to invite people. Invite them to the party. You could actually do like a Zoom party. You could do a grand opening of your VA business. Invite everyone you know. Why not? You got to think outside your box here a little bit. And finally, research and refine. If things aren't working for you, research and refine. Now, these are just 3 ways. There are a lot more ways. These are 3 ways that I wanted to talk to you about today, because these are ways that you can very quickly get results. Very, very quickly get results. I want to know in the comments, has anyone done any of these before? Maybe one of our alumni students are here. Have you done any of these before and had results? I would love to hear from you. And I'm going to open up something else here. Bear with me. All right. By contacting my existing network, Signpost was a winner for me. Has anyone else just done like a Signpost type thing and said, hey, I'm open for business? Paula says, I got a client unexpectedly only by inviting for a coffee and telling her about my services. I love that. That's awesome. That's exactly how it works. You have to be willing to tell people about what's going on, what you can do, what you can offer. All right. So now you know that you can go out there and you can land awesome clients right away. You've learned that you can use your existing skills and interests to create a business on your terms. There's literally no point otherwise. You know why niching is a powerful tool to stand out. And you know that you can niche by values as well if you're unsure about how to get started with that. You know you can create an income that enables you to feel valued and provide a lifestyle that you want. And you've discovered that taking meaningful action is the differentiator between those who make it and don't make it. Even if you're totally new to this. Like me, I worked on a farm, I worked in bars, I worked in a horrible, horrible fashion job. And I figured this out. Even if you've struggled up till now, you now have that tool of knowing that you can research and refine. That it doesn't mean there's something wrong and it's not going to work. It means it just needs tweaking. So with all that said, I want to know how you are feeling about becoming a virtual assistant and trying to land your first or next paying client in a week. Give me a yes in the chat box if you feel like you can take what you've learned today and put it into action. I want to know how you're feeling about it. Just give me a yes. Awesome. And if you're feeling unsure, that's okay too. It's okay to be nervous about this. I talked about this in the 5-day challenge last week, and I talk about it in general that, you know, there's also that sort of nervous excitement. And I think that the anxiety and the excitement mixed together is like a mix for a bellyache, but at the same time, it's a good sign. If you have the excitement still there, it's a good sign. Elizabeth is brainstorming who they want to work with. Awesome. Excitement belly is real, isn't it, Kim? I have it myself often. So I want to just stress that if I am looking down, it's because I actually have the Zoom on my computer here and I have a different setup with my camera. And this isn't my usual desk space. So I am looking at you. It just looks like I'm looking off to the side like a weirdo. I'm not actually. All right, so I see that we're doing good here. Everyone is feeling good. So before I get to some of your questions, I want to recap what we covered in this webinar today. So we covered what a VA is. We covered the personality traits of a VA. What type of people would want to be a VA? What they can do. We realized how wide that really is. We talked about who hires them. And we talked about the fact that you can really earn an exceptional income. We also learned that being specific about who you work with and how can provide you a really huge competitive advantage. And we went through the 3 simple steps to land clients immediately, along with that elevator pitch. I forgot to put that one in. We talked about your elevator pitch, and we gave you 3 simple strategies that you can take immediately and go land clients. So who's ready to take action? I want to know in the chat now, which one of these 3 things you're going to do first? Are you going to do 1, your existing network, 2, Signpost, or 3, are you going to research and refine? I want to know where you're at, and I want to know which one you're going to go ahead and do right away. Number 2 is popular. Number 2 is probably like the most impactful and the simplest one. So I totally get why that one is coming up so much. Existing network, 1, 2. You got any 1, 2, and 3s here? Yeah, we do. Ellie's got a 1, 2, and 3. That was the answer I was looking for. You all got it wrong. No, I'm joking. Awesome. Brilliant. I love it. Love to see it. So I think this is brilliant. You came here for a reason today, and I really want to make sure that you do take that action. Otherwise, like I said before, this is a wasted hour. It's a wasted hour for you, and it's a wasted hour for me. I care about your success, which is why I like to give you action steps. So I'm really glad that you're all committing to taking action. And when you do take the action, I want to see it. I want to see it on social media. I want you to tag me in Instagram stories at Digital Nomad Kit. I want to see you taking action. I want to know that you're doing this. The difference that makes the difference is always in the action taking. There are a lot of people that consume a lot of content and then don't act on it. So that's what I want to be the difference today for you. With that said, I'd really like to invite you to go deeper with me in my Virtual Excellence Academy. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and I'm going to talk about what that is. I'm going to attempt to share my screen again. Okay. So the Virtual Excellence Academy. I need my notes. The Virtual Excellence Academy is our full A to Z program of building your virtual assistant business. I'm actually just going to close this because I need my notes available. You don't need to see that. You can see my face. So the Virtual Excellence Academy, is our full business building program. And this is for you if you want to build a profitable and fulfilling business. This is for you if you want to find your version of freedom through this lifestyle career. This is for you if you want to dramatically change your life for the better. I built this for people like you, people who are here today. You came here today looking for a solution, and literally this program was created for you. The VEA will help you go from overworked, underpaid, undervalued, not living in your truth, not living in your freedom, to standing in your power, working with people and projects that you care and are inspired about, and feeling supported as you venture into this new career. The Virtual Excellence Academy, I'm going to call it the VEA for short, is a step-by-step, easy to follow program that is practical, gives you, just like today, actionable steps every step of the way. So in every single module of the VEA, you've got actionable steps that make a difference at every stage of your career. So I cover things like, just to give you a brief overview, how to have impactful discovery calls and win over dreamy aligned clients, how to use all of those every day and a lot of advanced VA tools that will enable you to feel confident in serving your clients, how to market your business effectively so that you're not reliant on gig sites and you're fully in control of your direction, how to put a price on your services and get paid from anywhere in the world, because I'm sure a lot of you, once you have your VA businesses up and running, are going to be working from all over the place, how to overcome mindset blocks like imposter syndrome, fear of failure, so that you can reach greater success and don't burn out along the way. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm the only expert out there training VAs. There's a lot of people who do this. What makes my program different and what works waking with me is a little bit too intimate. What makes working with me different is that I've discovered the key stumbling blocks that most people have. Like I said, I've trained 16,000 people, and these are the three things that are coming up all the time. Number one is not having access to business knowledge. So maybe you have taken courses in the past, or maybe you haven't, maybe you're new to this, and that you've taught a lot of the skills, a lot of the tasks that you'll be doing. And while we cover that, what we really focus on is the business building side of things. How to manage a business, how to market and sell, how to show up, how to network, how to organize your business, essentially. And this is one of the things that I think a lot of people struggle with. Not that I think, I know a lot of people struggle with. And so this is one of the heavy focuses of the VEA. The second one is being unsure of what actions to take and becoming paralyzed. So being sort of, there's a saying, and I can't think of it right now, but when you're bombarded by information and not knowing how to actually put that into action. Throughout the VEA, we have really easy bite-sized action steps in every module that bring you results. So you don't have to get stuck in that sort of, that fear of not knowing what to do next. And finally, I see a lot of people, one of the stumbling blocks is not taking a holistic approach to business, because this is the truth. This is a lifestyle career. This isn't a job. This is a choice to build a career and a business, and it is a lifestyle business. It affords you so much freedom and flexibility, and therefore you do have to take into account you as a person, your needs as a person, and the VEA has you covered with that as well. With the VEA, I created a methodology to support people from going from feeling stuck and stagnant and unsure to feeling confident, empowered, and in control of their life. So I'm going to talk about what you get. You get 13 in-depth modules that help you go from A to Z of building your VA business. They are in the form of videos, audios, worksheets, there's transcriptions for everything. You get action steps every step of the way. And on top of all that, you get lifetime access support with weekly co-working and exclusive job opportunities posted on the regular. So you're getting a lot of stuff in there. Now I am going to share my screen because I do need to share my screen. Let's talk about that. Who's excited about the VA? Is anyone excited about the VEA? Let me know. And if you have questions for me, I'm going to be taking questions at the very end for you. I'm going to share a couple of testimonials here, because while I can kind of talk about how great this is, I really want you to see what people are saying about it and what kind of experiences they're having. We can all sing our own praises till the cows come home, but ultimately it's in what other people are saying about it that will really be the truth, I guess. So Claire here is saying, Hannah's course is well thought out and the approach is professional, as well as being friendly and supportive so that everyone feels comfortable enough to take the leap. I think there's a lot of noise out there, but this is a bankable bet if you're looking to get started. Meg says, need a contract? I open the Virtual Excellence Academy. I need directions about anything? I open the Virtual Excellence Academy. I need support? I open the group page. It's my daily go-to. Thanks, Hannah. So yeah, we really do have everything that you will need to start your business in there. Every tiny little thing that you might need is going to be covered in there. We have Ren here as well. This is talking about the community more. The community is like family to me. I don't feel at home in any other group anywhere near how I do here. It's exclusive enough that we can all get to know one another, and the varied expertise and knowledge are amazing. And everyone is willing to share and help out with questions whenever needed. I think the live Zooms are really great too. We get to do yoga together, watch movies, play jackpot games. We probably play a little bit too many games. Do marathon co-working sessions and decluttering sessions with fantastic Spotify background music. I'm not sure how Hannah does it all, but this group is A ** all the way. Little heart emoji. How I do it, Ren, is that I have my own VAs because the world would not go round without VAs. So if you want to work from home, if you want to spend more time with the kids, if you want to earn uncapped income potential, if you want to work with awesome people, if you want to travel the world, then the VEA is going to be for you. So if you do have questions, I want you to drop them in the comments below. And I'm going to just quickly bring up where you can learn more about the VEA. That should be showing on my screen now. I believe it should be. It is, it worked. Woohoo! I'm so good at multitasking. So if you have questions, please drop them in the chat below. Now I'm going to talk about what it costs because I know that's going to be on your minds now. The VEA, you get all of this for the price of $700 US. Now, if you're ready to go all in, I also would recommend that you opt for our upgrade of the Virtual Excellence Academy Legacy Edition. The price of that is $1,150. And with that, you get everything that I've discussed already in the VEA, plus all of our specialized business building programs that will instantly allow you to move to those premium rates. So you get things like a whole podcast management course in there, a whole course on building websites in WordPress, that kind of thing. There are payment plans available, and I'm going to walk you through them so that you are completely aware of them. I'm going to share the screen again. This is a lot of multitasking for my little brain, but I'm going to share my screen again so you can really see. So if you want to go to that link that was just on the screen, digitalnomadkit.com/VEA, this is all about the program. Now, I'm going to scroll down to the payment options so you can see what they are. So the Virtual Excellence Academy, the signature program, is $700, and we have payment plans available for that. So let's have a look at those. You can opt for a one-time payment. You can do split pay of 2 times $350, 4 times $175, or 6 times $117. So you can break that up in a way that suits you best. Let's go back and have a look at the legacy. So the legacy is including the Virtual Excellence Academy, the podcast management kit, the WordPress course. You get the community in both of them. You're getting clients on demand, rapid breakthrough therapy. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. You're also going to get the contracts bundle, the contracts plus bundle. You do get a contract in the VEA, but you're getting the plus bundle here to cover you for different scenarios. You got Twitter mastery. So this is like how to find clients on Twitter, how to get media opportunities on Twitter, because I talk heavily about getting media opportunities to grow your business as well. Sales and marketing mastery workshop, niching workshop, Facebook networking bundle. I built my business 99% on Facebook. So you have everything I've done over the last 7 years in this, and lifetime access to everything here. So that is the pricing plans. What will happen is that you will go to the enroll button, which should be on the screen here. If you go to that, once you enroll, you'll then be able to choose your payment option. Once you enroll, you'll get a welcome email, and you'll get an invite to the support community, which is called the Inner Circle. You'll have access immediately to that, so you can start connecting with the other members within minutes. I'm going to share a couple more things that people have said about the community and about the program for you to decide if this is something that you really want to do. So we've got Antonella here. Antonella joined last year. Antonella says, last year I did 3 virtual assistant challenges, but the only one that got me to enroll in their course was Hannah Dixon's one. I don't like spending money, but this one was well worth it. Hannah and her team have created great content to help new VAs like me understand better this world, what tools are required, and more importantly, shed the employee mentality, all with good humor thrown in. I particularly like the resume makeover. It was one of, if not the best I've ever watched. Also great, the Canva and Photoshop's ones. I don't know about other programs, but I found the rapid breathwork module, breakthrough it's supposed to say, module very powerful and certainly something different from the usual professional course. I'm going to talk about what that is in a moment. That's something that's very, very unique to our program that I do want to talk about. In general, the VEA offered continued support and guidance on whatever VAs struggle with. Another vote for me was the accepting and welcoming and fun atmosphere. All genders, all brains are accepted. I also love that the VEA supports ethical pay for VAs, regardless of their location. All in all, a great community where you can also make good friends. So yeah, Antonella didn't like spending money, but she did. And she's had a wonderful, wonderful time with us. But there is more. So when you invest in the VEA, we do have 2 bonuses on offer for you. The first one is called Clients on Demand. Clients on Demand is an extension of what we started here today. So Clients on Demand is 15 in-depth details ways for you to find clients. These are the 15 top ways that I have found people to land clients effectively, all into one package. This is a full course that you're getting absolutely for free when you join the VEA. It's normally $150 value. You get it absolutely free. Secondly, what you're getting is something that's really, really unique to the VEA and to the Digital Nomad Kit community at large, is you're getting something called a rapid breakthrough therapy program. This is by Denise Mortimer. This is a powerful, transformative program that will not, you'll simply not find anything like it anywhere else. This is completely unique to us. And what it is, it's a therapeutic modality that helps you rapidly overcome fears, blockages relating to moving forward in your business, but not only just your business, your life. And one of the reasons we include this as a bonus is because we really do understand that when you start a business like this, it's not just starting a business. It's, doing the inner work that it takes to make this a success. Looking at things from a holistic standpoint. And this program, we partnered with Denise Mortimer, so you can get this bonus. This is usually $1,500. So that's more than the VEA or the VEA Legacy Edition on its own. And we're really, really proud and really pleased to be able to offer that to you. And I know that it sounds like a little bit wooey if you're a little bit like me, skeptical of the woo. It is definitely going to blow your mind. It has transformed people's views of themselves and their business incredibly within a matter of days. It's a 21-day program that you're getting absolutely for free, included in the VEA purchase, whether you purchase the normal one or the legacy version. So now what I'm going to do, for those of you who are interested in this, I want to break down the program for you so you really know exactly what's in there, and then I'm going to get to your questions. And to do that, I am going to share my screen and show you what's actually inside the course so that you can really understand how it's formatted, what to expect, that kind of thing. Great. And we're flipping back to switching again. Kathy Young, yes, I can share the pricing again. I will do that shortly, but in short, it's $700 for the VEA, and there are payment plans that spread over 6 months. And the VEA Legacy Edition with those podcasts, management, WordPress course, all that kind of stuff is $1,150 with also payment plans spreading over 6 months. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And it is not working, of course. All right. Here we go. So this is what it looks like inside. Okay, this is not what it looks like inside. This is what it looks like on the back end for me, but I'm going to open it up and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to view this as a student. So it's hosted in Teachable. If you did the 5-day challenge with me, you'll be familiar with this platform already. And it's going to be in the same platform. So everything's nice and easy. You'll use the same logins and all that kind of stuff. So you'll have different modules. You have 13 different modules and a bunch of little bonuses that we throw in at the end here for you as well. So you've got your welcome and orientation. And this is really to get you comfortable with the format of the program, is to get you understanding how to best use the support community that comes with this. We actually have the Inner Circle roadmap here. And this is everything that goes on in there. There is a lot of fun stuff going on. And then it looks a little bit overwhelming, but once you get in there, you're going to be like, oh my God, there's so much cool stuff. I want to be besties with everyone. So this is going to walk you through all of that. The second one is your workspace setup. And your workspace setup, let's go back. Your workspace setup is all about not just your online workspace, but your physical workspace, your mental headspace, getting yourself ready for this journey with lots of tools and tips and action steps. We even have a easy daily template, a daily planner that we suggest you using that you can make your own as well, of a template that you can use. Then we have the foundations, which if you've gone through the challenge is kind of an expansion on this. So this is really setting those foundations of your who, how, and why, exploring your why in more depth, identifying more existing skills, your ideal client and you, and naming your VA business. So this is to really get you feeling confident about moving forward and starting to sort of talk about your services with people, knowing that you have the basics in check. The third module is setting yourself up for success and getting visible. So some of the more practical things here so that you really feel like you have your ducks in a row. So getting your Facebook business page up, your LinkedIn, creating a portfolio. And I'll tell you right now, you can create a portfolio even if you have no experience, because we tell you how in here. You end up doing things for your own business that you would do for your clients in order to build that portfolio. And we teach you how to do that as well. So we have all the basics here, and we have little quizzes and action steps for you to take all along the way. Then we've got start interacting. So how to do relationship marketing. We have the introduction for impact. If you're in the challenge, you would have taken this already. We have 75 of the most active Facebook groups that we find to grow your VA business. You can access those here with all their promo days. We have reaching out to your existing network. We have templates for that. We have quizzes for that. We have how to practice your declaration with other members of the VEA. And we have this wonderful LinkedIn tips with Sammy Gardner, how to start networking on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is hopping and a really great place to get VA clients. So then we have client communication, which is broken into 3 sections. And it's broken into before your first client. So this is going to be making sure you have the right tools in terms of, communicating with them on Slack or Zoom or all those kind of learning how to use all those tools. So we got a lot of tools in this one. So Calendly, Zoom, Slack, video check-ins with Loom, how to conduct discovery calls, which is essentially an interview, but I call them discovery calls because when you call it an interview, it kind of sounds like that employee-employer relationship again. So I like to call them discovery calls. Call them what you want. We teach you how to conduct them in a really impactful way. We give you questions that you can ask the clients so that you feel like you're getting the right information out of that conversation, and they feel like they can trust you and that they understand your worth as well. Pitching like a pro, how to talk about money, because talking about money is scary. It's scary for me right now. It's always scary. It's never not a scary thing, unless you're like some super money mindset whiz. We talk about that. We have an expert in here, Jade Gemma, talking about how to pitch your services like a pro on those calls and feel confident doing it. We also have how to avoid job scams, because in any industry, there are scams out there. So we teach you all the pitfalls to make sure you don't fall into any of those. Then we have, you got the client, what now? This is the second part of the client communication. In here, what we're really doing is getting you feeling empowered to be able to onboard the client successfully with all the right sort of A to Z steps in place. So, the contracts, how to pay you, how to track your time if they want that, different project management tools. So you're learning a lot of project management tools here so that if your client is using any one of these most popular ones, you will feel, confident to use any of these. Dubsado, that's a great one for virtual assistants. And the wow factor, client retention strategy. So when you've got the client in now, you want to keep them, right? So we have some really cool tips for you to keep them on. We also have this, which I love this. A lot of people have had a lot of great things to say about this one. It's a firm favorite of our students. This is a video. Oh, I'm going to turn that off. This is a video where I am talking to my longest serving client about her perspectives of working with virtual assistants and what was different about working with me and why that was important. So this is really insightful to understand things from the perspective of the client, to really know what they're looking for and how you can sort of set yourself apart, really. So where were we at? We're going to go on to the money matters. So here's obviously a really important thing, pricing models. How to price your services. We have our pricing strategy that wins clients over 99% of the time that we recommend you using. A little bit more just sort of theory here about that. How to get paid and alternative payment processes and invoicing options. We have people from all over the world. And I know that the standard sort of PayPal doesn't work for everyone, or the Wise account doesn't work for everyone. So we do talk about all the different types of ways that you can get paid, and you can invoice clients from anywhere. Then module 6 is about networking and job applications. So networking in person, we talk about how to do that effectively, because the world's opening up. And I do recommend going to networking events, co-working spaces, wherever people are going to be hanging out, trade shows for the audience that you're serving. So we do talk about how to do that confidently. Applying to remote jobs as a freelancer, you can do that. You can apply for a job and say you want to be an independent contractor. Sorry for the dogs barking. And applying to job advertisements that you see on social media. And then we talk more in depth about using your network here. We also have how to create a digital business card. So this is really just like a little networking nugget. I just made that up. Sounds cool. Then we have content creation and marketing for online service providers. So this is to get you feeling confident going out there and putting content out in the world that attracts clients to you. There's a bunch of stuff there. I have a little bit of a background in public relations, and this really comes into play here. A lot of my business has been built on media opportunities, being a guest on podcasts, that kind of stuff. So you're going to get that kind of goodness in here as well. Then we've got tools and resources lists for you here. We have a graphic design module, which is put together by the wonderful Alicia on Team D&K and Monica. So you're covering Photoshop, Illustrator, Canva, and you've got a lot of resources here as well. Then we've got different add-on streams for online service providers, affiliate marketing, consulting, product creation. And then we've got joining the inner circle and everything that goes on with that. You've also got in here the rapid breakthrough therapy, and we've got a fear mastery module with Nicole, who is an alumni who is all about overcoming fears. So you've got a whole module on that as well. Now, Kim over in the inner circle, my wonderful wife, she also runs a self-care session once a month in the community. And it is a really nice thing to do. I think that it's a really nice way to come back home to the community, connect with those people, and get some clarity about what's going on, instead of being constantly like rah, 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 business, business, hustle, hustle, hustle. We're not about that. We're about building a sustainable business that feels good to you. And that concludes what's in the course. And of course, you're getting that community, and that community comes with so much more. It comes with weekly co-working, exclusive job opportunities that you will not see anywhere else. I actually run a matchmaking program for people who want to hire from our community, and they pay me to find you. So literally you'll get jobs that you will not get anywhere else, because people have come to consider D&K a place to hire ethically and intelligently, and to hire experts essentially. So I'm going to share just one more thing with you, and then we're going to wrap this up. Wrap it up. So I'm just going to show a couple more things people have said here. Gabriella joined us last year, I think last year, maybe late in 2020, perhaps. I'm not sure actually. I'm really happy that I took the leap, and I kind of regret I didn't do it earlier. Hannah's course changed my life. I finally quit my job, and I'm now working from home or from wherever I want. A year ago, this was a dream. I'm really proud of Gabriella. She's had so much success. We already broke it down. I'm going to pump through this. Miriam here. For a long time, I wanted to find a way to build a lifestyle and business that allowed me to be location independent. I had looked into virtual assistant work, but really didn't understand what it was and what kind of service I could offer. I'd never worked online and don't consider myself a super techie person. The VEA really helped me find clarity and direction. It opened up a world of possibilities I never really thought about. 3 months later, I now work on a regular basis with 2 to 3 awesome clients and have a few leads on potential projects. And wonderful Miriam recently had her child, and we're really proud of her. She's done amazingly well. And this career has really enabled her to spend time with her family during that. Georgie, the wonderful Georgie, that I see, the inner circle is filled with a lovely bunch of humans who are helpful and supportive. I absolutely love that Hannah answers questions, as opposed to some groups where the creator of the group just leaves us to our own devices. 2 of my free clients were from the matchmaking service, and they're an absolute dream to work with. The inner circle is one of my favorite places on Facebook. So yeah, when I say I care about you, I don't just say that because that's what I'm supposed to say. I do care about your success. It's my ass on the line if you're not successful. So I do really care about it. And with that said, I just want to recap again. The Virtual Excellence Academy is now open for enrollment. It is $700 to enroll. There are payment plans over 6 months. And it is an A to Z course that will help you go from, wanting to start the career and not knowing what to do, to feeling fully empowered and confident about what to do, and supported by a really tight-knit, wonderful, diverse, beautiful community of people with lots of events on going. With that said, I'm going to open up for questions now. So if you want to drop them in the chat below, that would be awesome. And the wonderful Kim is collecting them for me. Sometimes it goes a little bit too fast for my brain. But I see Veronica here. Can you sign up for the VEA, then upgrade later? Yeah. So one of the things I want to stress about the VEA upgrade as well is that it's $1,150, but the full value of all those programs is over $1,600. You're actually getting a $500 discount when you do that upgrade. You can upgrade later. You can always wait for one of these launches, for example. Then you could do that. But if you wanted to buy the courses individually, it is more expensive. So I just want to stress that. Ebony says, I understand that being a business owner. However, what if you're not a salesperson? You can't sell yourself, or an anxious person. Do you suggest signing up for a VA site, not Upwork, or just powering through? I suggest powering through. I absolutely suggest doing the mindset work to push yourself out of that sort of fear of doing the sales. You don't need to be a pushy salesperson. You don't need to do webinars. You don't need to, talk to a bunch of people. You don't need to like push yourself on people. You need to see selling as a service. If you have something of value to offer, you need to step into that and realizing that you're helping people with a service that you're offering. So I recommend pushing through that. One of the really powerful ways to do that in the VEA is that you will have access to the rapid breakthrough therapy sessions. And that is a really, really impactful way to start that journey of working through that. Laura says, are the split payments billed monthly? Yes, they are. So you would sign up for the plan that suits you, and 30 days later, the next installment would come out. Yeah, Kim says, important point. It is not a subscription. When you're paid off, you will never pay again, and you do get lifetime access to that community. Yes, that is something we pride ourselves on. The community aspect is so powerful, and I never want to charge for that. I enjoy that people have a place that they can go to continuously for the entirety of their career. We have experts who have been in here for 5 or 6 years now, and they're all willing to help you along the way. Hannah, enrollment is open until next Friday. Anita says, I'm very impressed by the pricing integrity. I recently came across someone on Instagram that is marketing VAs to business owners, and what they pay is criminal. Yes, absolutely. There is a dark side to virtual assistants, but that is not what we're all about. We don't do that. In fact, not often, but like maybe every couple of weeks, someone will be like, oh my God, did you see this in the group? And we're like, oh, we hate that person. Yes. So if there are no more questions, I will get going, but just going to read this. Kate says, authenticity is also a game changer. Witnessing people online who are unapologetically themselves, they seem to attract and repel people in equal measure, Instagram in particular, and creative spiritual work. Yes, I would agree with that. Beth, yes, it is in US dollars. Yes. So if you are obviously not US dollars as your native currency, it will just be today's currency exchange. It will work with your card still. It won't matter. Dina says, it sounds like a lot of money, but as a senior of the VEA, I can guarantee you will get that money back in 1 or 2 months. Hannah rules. Simply put, you rule, Dina. Dina has had so much success lately. I'm very, very proud of you. All right, friends, I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to know that you're going to go out there and you're going to take action on the things that you got today, those 3 action steps. I would love to see you over in the Virtual Excellence Academy. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to any of the alumni you see around. You can reach out to Alicia. You can reach out to Kim, Monica, any of the team, and they'll be more than happy to help you. I understand sometimes that it can be daunting to reach out to the creator of a program, because obviously I'm going to tell you it's great for you, but that's actually not the truth. If I don't think it's good for you, I'm going to tell you it's not good for you. You need to be ready to do the work. You need to be ready to show up. And yeah, I see Laura has signed up. Laura, you rock. Laura, for being the very first person to sign up, I'm going to send you a t-shirt that says imperfect action from our D&K shop. So if you want to just message me, I will get that sent out to you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming. I will send this replay out so you have access to these action steps again. And thank you very, very much for coming. Again, if you do take action steps and you want to share them on social media, I will shout you out. Tag me at Digital Nomad Kit. And once more, digitalnomadkit.com/VEA. You can come along and join the Virtual Excellence Academy and get this going on the right foot and well beyond. Lots of love, everyone. Thank you for coming to my very first webinar. Bye.